When you really want something with every fiber of your being, when the need for it is as desperate as the air you breathe, that's when you'll finally find success. Not when you want it like a meal after a long day, not like a drink after being thirsty, because you can survive days without food, a few days without water. But without air, without breathing, you have mere moments. That level of urgency, of hunger, that's where greatness lives. I'm not here to tell you that you need a better skill set or more training. That's not the missing piece. What's needed is the fire to push from giving 70% to giving 120%, to stretch beyond the comfort of 80% and find that extra gear. And believe me, I get it. I was just in a school where out of 2,500 students, only about 50 parents came to the meeting, and some of those parents came together. So it wasn't even 50 different families, but it didn't rattle me. I stood there and I reminded myself why I give everything I've got. I give 120% because there are kids out there with no father to lean on, because some of their dads are behind bars, because their mothers are out working 2 jobs, too exhausted to give 100%, because grandmothers worn down by years of carrying the weight of generations are the ones raising them. And they live in places where being educated isn't celebrated, where getting straight A's isn't greeted with applause, but with silence, sometimes even ridicule. Kids who have to hide their intelligence, who have to suppress their dreams just to fit in. That's why I give 120%, because they need someone to carry the extra weight. I don't want to be just another teacher or speaker passing through their lives. I want to change their trajectory like my life depends on it, not like it's something nice to do, not like it's a goal I set for the year. I want to be the Michael Jordan of this, the LeBron James, the Gandhi, the Mother Teresa, the Malcolm X, the Martin Luther King Jr. of education. That's the standard I'm chasing. That's the breath I'm fighting for. And so, the real question isn't about anyone else. It's about you. How much are you giving? Is it 120%? Or are you stopping at 70 because you're frustrated with the system, fed up with your principal, drained from dealing with the politics? Be real, strip it down. Are you burnt out? It's okay to admit it. If you are, you have to be honest about it, because hiding it doesn't make it go away. It only grows bigger in the dark. There's no shame in it. I've seen the exhaustion on faces. I've felt the weight in the rooms I speak in. When you're burnt out, when you're running on fumes, it seeps into your teaching, your passion, your energy. And the ones who feel it most? The kids who already have the odds stacked against them. If you fall, who's left to catch them? That's why today isn't about techniques or lesson plans. Today is about you. You have to fill yourself back up. You have to put yourself first. Just like on a crashing plane, you secure your own oxygen mask before helping others. Otherwise, you're no good to anyone. Take the time for yourself. Treat yourself. I'm talking about real rest, real care, manicures, pedicures, time alone if you need it. Don't laugh it off. Don't brush it aside. I used to think it was soft, too. I remember my boy inviting me to a spa day, and I thought, man, that's not me. I'm from Detroit. We don't do that. But I tried it. I went. And after that, I was hooked. Monthly trips, no shame. And not just because it felt good, but because I realized, if I don't recharge, I can't give what's needed. Not to my family, not to my mission, and definitely not to the kids who are counting on me to be the difference. So take the vacation, take the day off, breathe, heal. Because when you're whole, when you're charged, when you're bringing that full 120%, you're unstoppable. You're the beacon in a storm. You're the proof that no matter where they come from, these kids can climb higher. But if you stay burnt out, if you keep running on empty, it's not just you who pays the price. It's every single soul depending on you to be the one person who never gave up on them. If you're the kind of person who constantly gives and gives, stretching yourself thinner each day, but rarely stops to refill your own cup, listen closely. Maybe it feels selfish to think about yourself first. Maybe it even feels wrong. But the truth is, you can't keep giving from an empty tank. Imagine you're on a plane, the oxygen mask drops down. You already know what they tell you. Put yours on first before you help anyone else. It's not selfish, it's survival. And if you truly want to keep showing up for others the way you were meant to, you have to start showing up for yourself first. So when you leave here, when you step back into your world, I want you to promise yourself something. You'll take care of you, even if it's small. A cup of tea, a quiet moment with a book, a deep breath. Because if you're only operating at 70% or 80%, the world misses out on the incredible 100% version of you. For a long time, I thought I had to do everything alone. I thought asking for help was weakness. But the more I stayed in this work, the more I realized there's power in community. I started talking to other teachers, listening to their stories, learning little things that made all the difference. Like how sometimes a student isn't acting out to hurt you, they're just carrying pain from anniversaries of loss that we can't see. I learned to lean into the wisdom around me, learned that together we are stronger than we could ever be alone. But maybe you need to know why this is so close to my heart. I didn't have a perfect beginning. By the time I was 12 or 13, I learned the man who raised me wasn't my biological father. I always felt something was off, but when the truth finally came out, it shook my whole foundation. My mother had gone so far as to change my birth certificate, my name, all to keep the truth hidden. It broke something inside me. I started running away at 12, and by 16, I was gone for good. In school, they saw me as the clown, the kid who couldn't sit still, couldn't take anything seriously. But the truth was, I was drowning in anger and confusion. I was carrying the weight of betrayal from the one person who was supposed to protect me. I went through counseling, went through programs, but nothing seemed to fix what was broken inside. And eventually, I dropped out. I found myself wandering into a church one day. I wasn't raised religious, but something pulled me there. And I'll never forget the pastor who looked me in the eye and said, "If you want a future, if you have dreams you want to chase, you need to get your GED and go to college." Understand, where I came from, that wasn't normal. College wasn't something we did. It wasn't in the culture. It wasn't in the dreams we dared to speak out loud. Most of the people I knew ended up at the factory. Ford, GM, Chrysler. School felt pointless. But every single week, that man would ask me, "Did you get your GED yet?" Every single week. He never gave up on me, even when I had given up on myself. I tried to explain to him, politely at first, that my people didn't do college, that it wasn't for me, but he wasn't hearing any of it. He just kept telling me, "You have a gift, you have something special." I didn't even know what the word anointing meant at the time, but he saw it in me before I could see it in myself. He gave me something I never had before, an aim, a reason to believe that maybe my life could be different. And that was the beginning of the separation, the moment where I realized my life didn't have to follow the same path as everyone before me, that my circumstances weren't chains, they were lessons. What you carry inside, your dreams, your goals, your calling, it's bigger than the doubts you inherited. It's bigger than the fear whispering in your ear. Your future is not a game. It's real. It's yours to claim. And the most powerful thing you can do is to master the art of letting go of everything inside you that doesn't belong in the next season of your life. I am standing where I am today because I learned how to release the anger, the bitterness, the lies, the doubts. I couldn't change my past, but I could choose how it would define me. My hand may be paralyzed, but my drive, my heart, my purpose, they are still fully alive. When you leave here, I want you to remember one thing. You were made to impact lives. You were made to change the world around you. And it all starts with believing you are worth the breath, the time, the love you so freely give to everyone else. It all starts with you.